as sure as the birds ought to sing. I wouldn't ask you to change one thing, so be yourself and try to have a good time. Be yourself and try to have a ha-ha, yeah. Ha-ha, yeah. Ha-ha, yeah.
Cover me while I fine-tune my senses.
Ha-ha, yeah. I'm needing you like a bacon needs eggs. I'm needing you and there's nothing more to say. So be yourself.
Oh, you got it?
Oh, and try to have a good time. Be yourself and try to have a ha-ha, yeah. Ha-ha, yeah.
Hey, you know what? How's it going? Hey,
Yeah.
bro.
Happy New Year's, Xbox.
Welcome to the one and only, well, 1 in a million Switch 2 1 year in review, first year in review.
1 year and a month review.
1 year and a month review, maybe longer. By the
Depending
time
on how long- when this
it
comes
takes.
out.
Yeah. Was that compelling enough? I hope so. We have 3 different kind of categories, sections that we want to talk about today. The good, the bad, and the future. You thought I was going to say
You
that.
thought I was going to say the ugly.
Ah, see?
The good, the bad, and the future.
See what we did there? I think we start. Switch 2 came out in June of 2025. It is now
did.
July 2026, and we're going to start with the good.
What is good about this system?
So the bad. No, I'm just joking.
I think
Start
start
with
with the hardware because that's the first impression. You know, you get it out of the box, take it out of the plastic.
Yep.
You know, and the hardware is the first thing. And the first thing I noticed when we opened it, which I think there is a video.
There's a video of that, us opening it.
opening this
Yep.
for the first time. A much overall sturdier build than the Switch One.
The Switch 1 was very it felt like it was the first of its kind, but it felt like it. Like when
Yeah.
you got it, the giant bezel and the fact that you could take it with the Joycons and just creak the whole thing back
Yeah.
and forth. It made a lot of sounds. And even something like the back of the Switch 2 with the matte finish is just, it's nicer, higher
Yes.
quality. The kickstand actually works on this one.
Yes, 100% agree. And that kind of goes with all the stuff like the Pro Controller.
Yep.
Is I thought the original Switch Pro Controller was really good, but this one I think is just even better. And again, that matte finish
Yep.
feels a lot more, just like a lot more premium.
The sticks feel really good on
Sticks
all
feel really
that
good on
stuff.
all of the the Pro Controller, the regular
they went
Joy-Con.
above and beyond. Yeah,
Sticks
they're
feel really good. And so I think that's a good first impression. You
Yes.
know, I think hardware wise, it works.
When
really
we
well.
opened it up, it was it felt like a big increase, and it was
Yeah.
what we both spent 500.
Oh no, I did the 450.
You
but
did 450,
I
but you
got
got-
the Mario Kart.
So, but
physical 'cause I'm
when we
stupid.
spent at launch, I did the 500 with the bundle, and you did 450 in a physical.
with the physical Mario Kart. Yeah.
But it felt worth it. Like when we
Yeah.
opened it, it was like, oh, this was worth.
yeah, and the screen. I mean, I think even now sometimes the screen feels pretty big.
Yeah.
Especially if you go back to the Switch One and you play on that a little bit, and then you come back. But like the first time opening up, like it feels like wow, this thing is huge.
Yeah, it was like this was a big. It was
This
a
is
big. Yeah.
I mean, performance-wise, it feels a lot better. Like
Yes.
the Switch One, we were talking about this recently, but I felt like every time you played it, for no matter what the game, if you were playing like Tetris or Zelda, it would get super hot.
Yeah.
And the fan would start running immediately.
And you could hear the fan. Like the
Yeah.
fan was kind of had this whine to it, and it would yeah exactly. And that thing was loud, docked or in your head, you could still hear it.
Yeah, and now I feel like docked or handheld, I don't usually
I don't
hear
hear
the
it.
fan. And it doesn't get nearly as hot.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest thing we'll talk about a lot of games and stuff, but when you're playing this, it feels like, especially with optimization over the next few years, this should be able to run pretty much any first-party Nintendo game as the developers envision it, which you saw right away at launch with Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild. Those run better than I think I'd ever expected them to run. So I think hardware-wise, it feels like this is capable of pushing out any first-party game that they want to make.
It's and even we saw it with things like Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza that were originally I mean, Mario Kart World, negligible, but like they were supposed to be Switch 1 games potentially, but like they technically probably couldn't have achieved it. And if they did, they would have been subpar experiences. But this is like, as the developer intended, the Switch 2 now had the actual hardware, the power behind it to fulfill those ideas that they had. So
There's been a lot of good third-party ports. I don't think either of us played Cyberpunk. That one was
no, but that was like the
first day.
poster child.
Poster child. Yep. But then I played Requiem, which we can maybe start working into games now. Like I played Requiem, which was, I forgot when that was, like earlier this year, and that ran really, really well, and it felt like you're not. Like it didn't feel like a subpar experience.
You kind of had that experience again with a lot of these games that came out in the first year. It's like that same sensation that you had with the first Switch, where it was like, wow, this feels like a console I'm bringing with me. I didn't think we would feel that again with the Switch 2, but actually some of the games I felt like you do. Like Requiem and some of the, even when I played the little bit that I did, and some of the stuff with the visuals as good and as fluid as they are, you kind of get that feeling again where you're like, oh dang, this never would have been possible.
Outlaws 2 recently.
Star Wars Outlaws, yeah. I know, controversial game, not everybody loves it, and it was like broken at launch, classic Ubisoft.
Well, that's why you wait 6 months, guys.
That's right, yeah, and I waited, and now I played, when I picked it up just a couple weeks ago, it runs awesome. I have no problems with the game, and visually it looks amazing, and it is like that type of thing where you're like, oh dude, this feels like PS4, like PS5 level of like fidelity, especially handheld. Like it looks great on a small screen.
When you're on the smaller screen, I think it definitely holds up. And I think the biggest thing for me is I don't always care so much about like visual fidelity as much as performance.
True.
So like if something looks like, if it's running at 1080p but it's 60 frames a second, I would take that any day over like 4K, 30 frames per second.
Anytime when there's a fidelity or performance mode, I'm going performance.
Yeah.
And a lot of these have started to allow that.
I'm trying to think, what are some like Switch, like
there was some infamous Switch 1 port. Remember the Ark, they fixed that, but the Ark survival game when it came out was like, what? What is this disaster? But they eventually got that one to work. There was ambitious stuff like No Man's Sky, which like I can't imagine ran really well, but like the fact that that was there all is crazy. But I am positive that the gameplay would not feel like, for me, not worth playing on that system when I could do it on something else.
Right. I think like you definitely feel like you're getting compromised experience.
Yes.
Where here I haven't felt that yet, and I feel like, I mean, depending on how long Xbox, Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year, Xbox.
Depending on how long they decide to keep the Series S running, I feel like we're not going to see in the near future that change anytime soon. What's another like? If we're talking about third party too, Madden, big Madden fan. First Madden coming to a Nintendo console in 13 years. Madden 13 on the Wii U and the Wii, dual release, to Madden 26. And again, there are, I think, some like concessions made, but it's technically still the whole game, right? And I think that's really big. And it's obviously big enough that they're bringing the next Madden, the 27, this year, right? So that was one thing I was worried about. I'm like, is this a one-time thing?
Right, are they going to, The fact that they're continuing it is really good. And then and stuff like Call of Duty is coming too.
Yeah, I forgot about that. That's crazy. But we should probably talk some first-party games, since that's mostly what people play on the Switch.
Yes.
And starting maybe with Donkey Kong Bananza! Zebra!
Dude, Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Great game. I think easily the best first-party Switch 2 game
I would say
so
best.
far.
I would agree.
And I think a lot of people would. I think the only other one people would say is maybe Pokopia, if that's something like they're really into.
Sunk into. Yeah.
Just so creative, and I love how we were all expecting a 3D Mario, and they're like, nope, you're in a 3D Donkey Kong, and it just plays so differently than any other, not even any other Mario game, but any other game I've ever played. I
was
loved
hooked with that when I was especially getting towards the end. Like I was hooked. I could not put it down. And like once you start getting, but they did the thing that they did with Mario Odyssey, where like the movement is so important, and that's what makes that game feel so good, like Mario Odyssey. And they did the same thing with Bonanza, where towards the end, once you've got all the rolls, the throwing, the surfing on the thing, like dude,
you just what's the word? Chain those all together.
Yeah.
And it feels so good.
I would probably give that game a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I would say it's a 10 for sure.
Yeah.
And I feel like, especially at least in this first year, the trend of like just games you wouldn't expect is pretty much what the Switch 2 has been has been.
I didn't even think of that.
Going towards where like Kirby Air Riders is just such a weird game. It's like
so strange.
by Sakurai too, not like just
Right.
like a random third party, second party studio, like a
Very high
true
quality
first party
game.
game.
It's fun. One of those games that like, I don't know, I haven't played it a ton since I was like dove into it, but I should revisit it more because there's a lot to do.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's a lot of content, which I think is really good, and is something even in some of these Switch 2 games, because it was also a problem on Switch 1, where not every game feels like it has enough content sometimes, I think, in some of these games. Like Mario Tennis Fever, that's a game that I think has good things about it, but also there's like, I don't know, sometimes like the story mode is literally one of the worst things I've ever played. Like, just not even in a Mario sports game, just one of the worst things I've
So
played
tough.
ever. I think some of these games, it feels like there's some content problems there, but Kirby Air Riders definitely does not have that problem. Like, there's so many things in that game that I feel like if you were into it, you could play that game for like over 100 hours.
Oh yeah, I agree. We've gone this far. We could talk about the launch title for the Switch 2 that everybody was talking about. That was like a huge deal. And you know, they had like a couple frames of it in the Switch 2 hardware trailer, and
People
everyone
were
was like hyper analyzing. Donkey Kong's new design was.
Is that 24? I'm counting 24 characters, I think.
Yeah. Mario Kart World.
And that was what they opened the reveal trailer with too. It wasn't. It just went right into the
Right there.
right into the
That's
trailer.
right.
And that was the first game most people played on the Tua.
Launch day.
And it's an interesting game. I think at launch, it's definitely had a lot more problems than it has now. They
agree.
definitely fixed a lot of stuff with it. Not necessarily like big changes, but a lot of little tweaks that I think have helped with some of the complaints that people had. Even stuff like in the open world, originally there was no way to know how many switches you'd even
the map
pass.
or in like the you had no idea how many switches there were or what you had done.
Yeah, it was just like, here you go, just find some.
With the open world and everything, it's fun to mostly just mess around and have in the background. And I feel like people have started to figure that out. And I know the whole controversy with like probably the biggest thing is the whole, you know, what do you call it? The in-between courses versus the regular
routes,
ones.
I
The
think?
routes
The routes.
versus the main courses when you're going online. You know.
Yes, that was a whole thing. We don't need to get into all that.
Yeah,
but
I don't even really care because it didn't really change how I played the game personally for me.
I think the biggest thing with the routes for me is like, I don't really play Mario Kart online that much.
Same.
And so I think the biggest thing for me is I didn't like, and I still don't like, because this is the same way it is now, how in the Grand Prix you have 4 races, but the first race of the Grand Prix you play 3 laps. The second race you race to the course, and then you only play 1 lap on the course. And so I do think they're like majority, besides 1 or 2 of the courses in this game are really, really good.
Yes.
But I feel like I just haven't experienced all of them nearly as much as I did in 8. I don't know. So I think that's the one thing that I still don't like about the routes.
I wouldn't say this is the best Mario Kart, but I'd say maybe it's the second or third for me. Like I would say
Yeah, and I think it has potential to get even better.
Oh, yeah.
If or when they update it, DLC in
give
the
it DLC.
future.
It could for me become my favorite. But
Yeah.
for me, like I feel like something like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe with all its DLC is like how do you beat that?
Yeah. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is just one of the best games of all
It's one of
time.
the best games ever. Yeah.
It's a cool game. I think there's a lot of pros, some cons.
Yes.
Yeah. We're going pretty. So we might want to speed run through some of these.
I agree.
So Pokopia, did you play Pokopia?
Pokopia, I never really played actually.
Okay.
I was at the time I'm like, I don't need another simulation thing. But
that makes sense. I didn't even think I was going to get Pokopia, but then it was such a big deal that I got it, and it's amazing. Pokopia is a great game. I don't even like Pokemon. Like, I actually could not care less about Pokemon. So the fact that I love this game
that is saying
something. Because like, I think a lot of it is people like this game because they're like, oh, I want to get all my favorite Pokemon to go in my town. I don't care. I don't care which ones I have. But I just like, I think the way that they design all the different worlds and how big the game is.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just like checklists too. So all the checklists are really helpful for me.
It seemed like
that.
as big of a global phenomenon almost as like New Horizons. Had this been during a global pandemic, it probably would have been.
Yeah, and the DLC that they're coming out with looks awesome. So I'm sure that will also boost it a little bit. Oh, Star Fox.
Star Fox.
Star Fox is also awesome. And I think is maybe the best looking Nintendo game of all time, which makes sense because it's on rails mostly. So it's pretty easy to make it look really good because they have like control over what you're seeing. But I think it's a really great game. I like that it's a lower price, like it's a little bit of a more lower tier price, which was a controversy in the beginning. Like Mario Kart Mario Kart World. What was it, $80? And they're like, oh, well, some of them will be cheaper. And for a while they weren't.
Yeah.
But I think
They actually are now.
They are now, yeah. And then what else do we have here? Maybe talk about some... You've played a few more of the Switch 2 updates, I feel like.
I have.
barely haven't played any of those.
Switch 2, some of the free updates they did on the Switch 1 games have been pretty cool. And this also ties into the handheld boost thing, but we'll get there.
Handheld boost, yes.
But the fact that they updated some Switch 1 games for free, that your game just gets an update and suddenly it just works better on the Switch 2. Really cool. So, of course, this wasn't the case for all Switch 1 games. We'll get into that.
We'll talk about that.
For me, I played through the entirety of The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, which is your copy of it.
Yep.
And
Physical
I loved
media,
it.
baby.
Physical media. Trade the game. How to trade a game. The whole game ran at like pretty much native resolution and 60 frames, and it just looked great, handheld or docked. It was like stunning.
I was very jealous because I played that game at like 30 frames per second. I
It's
was like,
sub 30
damn.
frames on Switch 1. Tough.
Damn.
Cult of the Lamb is an indie game that I love. I've been playing it for years since it came out. I had it on PS4 and then I got it on Switch when it came out. Decent on Switch, but you get some performance hitches. They added a performance mode. It's like, it's mid, it's eh. But on Switch 2, you can use the handheld boost feature. This is not even, they didn't even update this game actually, but the handheld boost mode just allows these games to just run their docked settings and resolutions on the Switch 2 in handheld mode, which seems like it should have been there from the beginning.
Yeah, I don't
Everyone's
know
been saying
why
that.
it was. I mean, and it's still kind of hidden in the settings. I
Yes.
feel like if you're not in the know, if you don't know
might
about
not know.
handheld boost and you have a Switch 2, look up how to enable it.
Yeah.
Because it makes
Instant free
games
way to make
so
your
much
games
better.
just work better in handheld mode.
And I feel like they're like, oh, it could decrease the battery, but I haven't really
It doesn't.
noticed. I mean, we'll talk about how bad the battery is.
Yeah.
The battery is equally as bad with the handheld boost. So
Yes,
it's like,
it
it's not
doesn't-
making it worse.
Yeah.
Some Switch 1 games I can go through really quickly, like
Yeah.
Tomodachi Life I played a lot.
Yep.
And that was really fun.
Way better on Switch 2.
Way
from
better
what
on
I
Switch
gather.
2. Like,
Yeah.
because I actually did play that on Switch 1 a little because I was like, oh, let's see. Switch 1, why is there so much lag on Tomodachi Life on Switch 1? What is happening in the background? Rhythm Heaven Fever, really fun game. Silk Song, I sunk like 80 hours into that. That does have a Switch 2 version. Yeah, 120 frames.
On the
And
Switch 2?
Still
Cool.
similarly 120 frames, Mina the Hollower. Like
Yep.
both of those two indie games that I really love playing. And then also the GameCube games have been fun.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
I
the
played
GameCube.
through Chibi Robo.
Did
the
you
whole
beat
game.
that?
I beat it.
Wow,
I beat
that's
it.
crazy.
That was a fun game. And
Yeah.
even like, what's the game that we played a little bit? Mario Strikers.
Oh yeah,
Fun to play
Strikers is fun. That's cool.
It's like I feel like they haven't updated that in so long, and I really want them to put some new games on there because
Yeah.
that was like one of the things I was most excited for actually at the announcement Switch 2 Direct,
Yeah.
that they were adding those, and I would love for them to add more.
We both have the GameCube controller.
Yeah,
You got one, and then you got one for me.
yeah, it's
And-
a great controller.
Yes, excellent. As like a big GameCube guy, we're both big GameCube fans.
GameCube.
Love the controller. It feels legit. It's
Yeah.
nice. It's
Yeah.
quality. Battery dies on it every time I use it. I don't know why. Before we get to the bad, a couple last random things that are good that we've experienced.
eShop, good.
Good. It actually works.
It works.
Browsing the eShop on the couch with friends has never been more fun.
Never been more fun to look at all of the simulators and hentai games.
Yep.
Game chat. We'll get to game chat bad, but there are some. I think game chat.
Game
Also
chat
has a
has
lot
an
of
idea.
good parts.
Really good.
Works pretty well. Like works pretty seamlessly with the console.
Yep. The fact that there's a dedicated button I thought would be stupid. Honestly, I don't mind it.
It's actually
I
pretty
actually
nice.
kind of like it. It's
Actually
just
pretty-
there.
actually pretty
It's
nice.
easy. Just yeah.
And let's see, stable. Not a lot of crashes on the games. You
Yeah,
worked
I
that in
don't
there.
think I've had any.
Yeah, and Switch 1. I got
used to-
one about one a week for sure. Finally,
Finally, we
can
get
talk
to talk
about the bad.
The bad.
this is where it gets fun.
This is okay. So the bad. Cycling back now to the hardware.
This guy, it's pretty heavy.
It's pretty heavy.
It's pretty heavy.
Pretty
As a handheld.
yeah for a handheld. Now, and the stupid thing is this is one of the lighter handhelds.
It is. It is. So it feels.
I don't
weird to
have the
complain about.
numbers. Put them up. But like this, compared to like your Steam Deck, your ROG
Yeah.
Ally, your Xbox ROG Ally,
Xbox.
X Pro, X-Lax, like this is way lighter than those.
Yeah, I think it's coming from the Switch 1, which I think we both agree.
Portability trade-off for like holding it and still having a good experience.
Yes.
is the right place to be. It fits in so many little bags and things like that. But yet, when
Yeah.
you're holding it, you still feel like you get a good experience.
Yeah,
Especially
you don't feel like it's like you're compromising an experience if you didn't play it on the TV.
yes, and even more so with the OLED, which neither of us had, but like it's the same size and just bigger screen. So like, yeah.
It's a little big to feel like a portable device. Like it technically
Yeah.
still is portable.
If I pull this out somewhere, I look way dumber than I did with the Switch one. You know what I
it's
mean?
like sometimes I'm like, maybe I'll just bring my phone, guys.
Yes, yes, exactly. I actually play this out less than Switch one just because I know it's going to look a little stupid.
It's just as, and playing it in bed, you get a little tired.
You get tired holding it.
Holding it, not having any grip on the back can be a little tough. And that is where you can get some third party.
That's where we got some third-party stuff right now. I loved the Split Pad Pro for the Switch one.
Yeah.
That thing. Oh my
Hori,
God.
what are we doing?
Hori, bring it. Come on.
Hori!
There's only a couple of third-party Joy-Cons just now coming out for the Switch 2. Some of them are, people say they're good, but they just look hideous and stupid, so I don't want them. But this Spigen grip case does a decent enough job. The Switch is still dockable. It gives you some grips. You can actually hold the thing. It's not awful, but even this like just looks kind of stupid. I'm waiting for the what's it called? I'm waiting for the Nitro Deck 2.
Another bad, the camera.
So this one's tough because it's almost so bad it's good.
Yes, it is. And I just don't know why they didn't like figure out a way to put it on like a flip up camera on the Switch.
Why
Like,
is it not on the system?
it's barely used.
They expect you to just sit a camera plugged into your Switch like in front of your TV and just leave it there.
Yeah, and let me tell you, I do. They don't use it.
It doesn't do anything.
A bit of a missed opportunity for sure. And so like it's really just like a gimmick that some games will use. But they don't want to make it necessary.
The DSi had 2 cameras.
True. It did.
Okay.
We're down to 0.
We're down to 0 on the device.
The Wii U had 1.
The Wii U had a camera.
on the front.
Now that one did get even less usage.
Yeah,
But, I mean, you
but-
could make remember the Mii's? You could do the Mii thing.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Yep.
And then the last bad we have for hardware is the HDR, which so many people have talked about.
Yeah.
Is just the implementation is not good.
Is bad.
And neither of us have like the best HDR TV. So
Yeah.
maybe like if you have like a $2,000 OLED TV,
Right.
it's different. But I mean, I think just in general, there were so many people that were talking about at launch the way that they have you
way you set it
calibrate
up.
the EV, it does not make
A
sense.
screenshot of Mario Wonder, and it's like,
awful.
choose what looks right. It's like, I don't, that doesn't.
Yeah, so like if you want to calibrate it right, you have to look up like a video online and they'll tell you how many clicks to do it. Bad. No,
Bad. And I hear that there are some good games that do good HDR. I know Metroid Prime 4 does
Yeah,
really good
it
HDR.
looked really good. I played that
and
game,
there were
yeah.
a couple others that I was like, I don't remember off the top of my head. But like other games where like the HDR implementation itself, really good. However, just the way it's set, and even then, like I feel like it's not fully used. And never mind, dude, HDR on the handheld screen, non-existent, dude. I don't know what they're trying to get at saying it has HDR. It's an LCD. It's not an OLED.
there is nothing happening.
So it's not really possible. Like it's not. They're like it's HDR. It's not real HDR. It just all looks. Nah. I would also argue we didn't really write it, but hardware, the screen itself, I have some qualms.
You do.
I
I am not as visually adept,
This
so
is
I'm just
fair.
kind of like, looks good.
they downgraded from the OLED back to an LCD. And in a lot of ways, I think I would take the 60 frames a second Switch OLED panel over the 120 frames LCD panel on this. You know what I mean? For me, the
I agree.
OLED
I would
colors, like the OLED colors, when we go to the kiosks or whatever, you could Target, you see the Switch OLED, and you're like, you watch the trailers, and you're like, damn. The colors look so good. The blacks look so good. Everything pops. And then the biggest issue with this is like, again, they say HDR, not really. But the biggest issue for me is the ghosting, which I believe affects some models more than others, like some specific units. But mine is like, they say...
depending on the panel.
Yes, depending on the exact panel. They say you get 120 hertz output on the Switch 2's main display for certain games. Dude, the ghosting is so bad that... no, you don't. You can't. The screen doesn't update. The game
It doesn't
may
move.
be,
It doesn't update fast
yeah,
enough.
the
to
game
make
may be
120.
running at 120 frames a second, and the screen is technically outputting 120 frames a second, but like the pixels don't respond quick enough, so it leaves a trail of things behind. There's tons of videos about this online.
Yeah. And I personally do not. I mean, I don't play a lot of like really quick time shooters. So like I feel like that's where it benefits the most. But I don't really ever feel a difference when I'm playing 120 versus 60.
Yeah,
like
same.
I
Same.
mean, again, I'm not very visually adept. So like, if it's 60, it feels smooth. If it's 120, it feels smooth.
Yep.
So it's like, I'd rather, you're correct, I agree, take an OLED 60 over an LCD 120.
Yep.
Games. Oh boy, oh
Games.
boy,
We
oh
talked
boy.
about a lot of good games on the Switch too, but there are some stinkers.
Yes.
Prime among them, chief among them, even The Legend of Zelda, Hyrule Warriors, Age of Imprisonment.
No. And we should preface by saying you are a big fan of the original
I
Hyrule Warriors.
love Hyrule Warriors. Do I have it?
The Wii U Hyrule Warriors. There it is. I see it.
There it is.
And if we were at my apartment, I could show you. I have the physical edition of the Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, which I thought was a great game. Maybe not a 10 out of 10, but I really enjoyed it. I played the whole thing, beat it.
Yep.
We have both played Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. I think I played it for about 3 hours.
And I probably have 10, which is way more than I
Kudos.
should.
Kudos.
Because I was like trying to trudge through it, like maybe it'll get. Dude, this game,
It's so bad.
it's terrible.
It is the.
I don't know how people like it.
It is the least fun I have ever had playing a video game. I feel like playing this game. There is 0 people in this game that you look at and you're like, I would really want to play as that character.
Yeah, I don't give a single fuck about anybody.
No one has heard of any people in this game.
Oh my god, Raru!
I've played Tears of the Kingdom for over 100 hours. I don't care about playing it as anyone here.
Right.
Even like Zelda, who you know Zelda, but her moves are just not good. So you
Not
don't want to
good.
play as her. The only person I want to play as remotely is the Link clone, because he
Right.
at least has some cool moves. But like,
With that ass Korok who won't
oh my
shut
gosh,
up.
yeah, the Korok is the worst. It's not the same as, at least what I remember from Age of Calamity, where there's a lot of different kinds of challenges and a lot of different types of missions.
It's
Every
all the
mission in
same.
this game feels very, very similar.
Instead of like big, expansive, like big mission, I forget if Age of Calamity did this.
It
but
does, I
Instead of
think,
like
yeah.
the big missions that like Hyrule Warriors, the original one, is just like these big missions. But like
Big field.
This one is like a bunch of tiny missions where you do nothing, or you do the same thing over and over and
it's
over.
like you're
again.
in this gated area, you beat these guys, you move on to the next gated area, you beat these guys. Pretty bad
bad.
game. I think the only Switch 2 game that I bought that I have not beat, and I
Crazy.
Unfortunately, it might be staying that way.
What's your second worst, or
second
AKA, or
worst.
the one that you think?
Yeah, so it's hard because I did beat this game, but it's also much shorter. Yoshi and the Mysterious Book
Tough.
gives me depression, I think. Like, playing this game is just not a good game. I mean, the only good thing about this game is it looks really nice, and there are some cool moments, and there's some cool ideas, but there's no, like, none of the levels are actually levels. It's like they just put you in an area, and it's like, oh, here's this cool thing you can do, and you do that cool thing, and then it's like, all right, next level, and then you just never do that cool thing again. And it's just so boring. I don't really have much to say about it. I've just never felt more.
It's the most boring game of all time.
It's literally like you can actually try. You can get a demo of it now, so which is nice that
There
you
you
don't
go,
have to
that is
waste your
helpful.
money.
Yeah. What was it, 70?
Spent $70 on this game.
Star Fox is 50 and that's 70?
Yeah, it was tough.
Holy.
The Yoshi brand name, guys. Oh, speaking of another, we could talk about another launch game.
Oh, another launch
the
game.
other Switch launch game.
The other Switch launch game outside of Mario Kart World.
Welcome Tour. More like Welcome Bore, because it's boring.
Nintendo Switch 2, Welcome Tour.
Nintendo Switch 2 homework, because if the levels are tests, you read text and then you answer questions about the text. It's just homework. It's pretty bad. I did beat
bad.
this game. Some of the challenges or the tech demos are cool.
Yeah.
Like they're cool showcases, but there's none of them where, because they do have like multiple levels where it's like, oh, if you do this one, try this harder version. None of them I ever wanted to do the harder version. I was like, okay, I got the gist. That's cool. I can move my Joycon as a mouse. Awesome. And then I was done.
$10?
$10, too much. Let's see. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. Did not enjoy this game. I mean,
Yeah.
it's better
I
than...
haven't played this yet because you were like, nah, you don't need
I mean,
to.
it's better than some of the other ones we talked about, but
Yeah.
I think it's just like so mediocre and so mid that it's not very memorable.
I think that's the general consensus I've heard is like people are saying it's kind of a bust.
It's very linear, so it doesn't really feel like you're really kind of doing the same Metroid like exploration of the other ones, and it's also very like separated, like all the locations. So the original Metroid Prime is cool because it's like a Metroidvania where you figure out these different paths to go and you get different abilities to unlock different paths, and everything kind of connects, and it's like, oh my gosh, wait, I can go from here and now I can actually get back to here. It's like find quicker paths. in this is just like just different, almost like feels very Zelda-like, where they're just dungeons, which is fine, but it does not feel like a Metroid game. And then you also have all the stupid desert stuff with getting the green crystals, and then you get to the end of the game and it's like, oh wait, I actually had to get those green crystals to advance, and so you're spending an hour driving around the desert running into green crystals because I don't have enough green crystals.
Because they didn't tell you before.
Because they don't tell you that you need to.
Like, visually, it's stunning.
Yeah, visually, it is a very good looking game. I would put it on par with Star Fox. I mean, the only reason I would say Star Fox is better is the desert does not look good.
Well, you can tell Metroid Prime 4 in certain spots, you're like, oh, this was a Switch 1 game.
Yeah.
That retro freaking cooked and made it run on that thing so well.
Yeah.
Which, you know, as they do.
We covered most of the big ones. I'm good with moving on.
Yeah.
Like, we could talk about, maybe we were talking about games, like we could touch on the game key cards, because a lot has been made of the game key cards.
The game key card situation was a big
misstep, I think, in at least the messaging.
Yes.
And I think since we wrote this document, more has come out about, you know, the future of physical games.
Yep.
And now I might look at game key cards a little bit more positively, because at least it's a way to have a game physically that you can trade in and you can lend.
Right.
Still not ideal.
It's like the one thing that worries me about them the most is, like, I actually don't mind the concept of the game key card, because it's like, I have a lot of stuff digitally anyways, but then it's like, oh, well, it's the worst of both worlds because you need to put the cartridge in to play it, but you still have to have it all in your system storage. So, like, yeah, I get that. But the thing that concerns me the most is preservation. So, like, all these Switch 1 games that are just on cartridges, 20 years from now, 30, 50 years from now, if you can find a Switch 1 that still works, you could plug the cartridge in and it's still going to work. Like, think about an NES or an SNES. If you can get the thing to work and you have a cartridge, you pop it in, it works. But, like, there's no future, 50 years from now, Nintendo's not going to have the server up where you put a game key card in and you could still download the game. I can't imagine.
Yeah, I think that is definitely an issue. I do know that the place that you download the game from is not connected to the eShop, so it's not the eShop. It's like its own server. But again, that still means the server needs to be up for you to download
Nothing
the
lasts
game.
forever, and it's like these things get shut down, and so it's like not having a
obviously,
true physical version.
I would have always preferred to have it on the cartridge.
Yeah,
but it is better than not having them.
Better than not having. It can be on the shelf. It can live on the shelf,
and I would buy a game key card, and I would never buy a code in a box. So I guess that's kind of like
true. That's the silver lining.
Yeah. Speaking of, I don't know why I said speaking of. Why is there no new Joycon colors, and why the Joycon colors they do have are only on the little stick?
The little ring.
What are we doing?
What are we doing?
What are we doing?
One of the coolest, like, most defined things about the original Switch was those red and blue.
Yeah.
Very, very standout. That was undoubtedly a Switch.
Like, you could switch out.
You can mix and match.
You can mix and match. You can, like, oh, it's summer. I'm gonna do summer colors.
Yeah.
Maybe I only did that, but I thought that was fun.
Oh yeah, it was.
And now it's just all the same.
Nothing.
All
we have nothing. It used to be cool. I'm gonna show a couple pictures of, like, all the pictures that we've taken of, like, our Switches. Me, you, Kayla, have our Switches together, or like me, Logan, Cam with our Switches together. There was all like, oh, this is mine. This is my system.
Yeah.
And now you put 10 of these next to each other. Unless you bought that other Joy-Con that barely looks any different, they look exactly the same.
Yeah, it's the way it is these days, I guess. Everything's just homogenized. But maybe something that could be more homogenized is their app interface, because why are there 6 different Nintendo apps on my phone?
You have all of them?
Let's see. Let's see if we can name them. Let's see if we can name them all. There's the Nintendo eShop app.
Or they call it Nintendo Shop.
Nintendo
right?
Shop.
Nintendo Shop.
Nintendo
Today. Music.
Nintendo Switch.
Nintendo Switch app.
That might be it.
That might be it. 4?
That might be it. Not including, maybe it's some of the games. So
they're shutting down Mario Kart Tour. Did you hear that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Rats.
Yeah, so 4 apps?
4 different apps just for managing your Nintendo Go. Oh, also parental controls if you have
That's
that
right.
app.
And that's a separate app?
That's a separate app.
Dude.
The parental controls app. So there are potentially 5 different apps that you can have.
It should be one app just called
The
Nintendo.
Nintendo app. Like, what are we doing?
What are we doing? Why, like, does every single one of those apps have a completely different UI design?
Different? It looks like they were all designed by different people.
Completely different people. The teams did not talk to each other.
Nope. And I feel like game prices we talked about it a little bit. So.
We talked about game prices. We wrote this in our bad section, but like
now I feel like, I don't know.
it's
I
kind of
don't know.
tough.
I mean, so far, nothing else has been $80 besides Mario Kart World. The only game, and now we can maybe move on to the future, that I
Yes.
think might be $80 will be Ocarina of Time.
Yep.
I think they might charge $80
they go
for
80
that.
for that.
They might.
But honestly,
All prices are going up, guys.
all prices are going up. The RAM and NAND shortage,
dedicated
the
WAM.
dedicated WAM shortage is hitting it everywhere.
Yeah.
And so what? Steam Deck is now what? I don't know.
I
the
don't know. I
numbers.
mean, I know the Steam Machine is coming out. That's like $1,000,
yeah,
right?
yeah, 1,000 plus if you want, and then more if you need a controller. It's gonna come with a
The
controller.
Xbox
went up. All went up.
PlayStation went up,
Yep.
and the Switch is going up, but only by $50,
Only
which I
$50.
feel like is actually not bad.
The fact that the Switch 2 is going to be $500 and what Steam Deck I think is $750 now.
Yeah, it's definitely
Something
in the sevens.
absurd.
It's like what's interesting is when the Switch 2 was announced, released,
Mm.
it was like a huge negative.
Yeah.
Like the
People
game
were like,
prices,
holy, yeah.
like $80,
Yeah.
$450,
Which is crazy considering last year we were like, it's right on the cusp of like a bad deal.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like now it's like,
Now
the
it's-
scene is completely different. And I almost would recommend, like if somebody's like, I want to play games now, get a Switch.
So speaking of the future, I mean, Switch 1 recently announced they are stopping production on Switch 1.
Yep.
And so I do think they should still sell the Switch Lite, personally.
Yes. Switch Lite, dude, I'm at
$99
$99
for
Mario
Switch
Kart
Lite
7.
would be perfect.
$79 of Mario Kart 7.
For the Nintendo 2DS.
Come on.
Guys, what could have been my biggest regret?
I know. But yeah,
regret.
imagine Switch Lite $99 of Mario Kart.
Yeah,
They
that
would
would-
sell they would sell so many.
Gangbusters.
Yeah.
They just announced that they're starting production potentially on a Switch 2 OLED, like a rumor. And then that comes into question like, oh, what about a Switch 2 Lite? I don't know if they could do that.
Switch 2 OLED I think they will do. I think they will
Yes,
do a Switch 2
I
OLED
100% agree.
and it'll be a little refined thing. I feel like it'll come out maybe next year or the year after.
550 or 600?
Maybe 6. Well, if this is going up to 500, then probably 600, maybe even 650. Depends on what they decide to do. If they give it
Yeah.
like a 4K OLED 120 hertz screen,
Might be 650.
that would be pricey.
Yeah. But Switch 2 Lite is, I don't know how they would fit
Physically,
that into a smaller form factor.
it seems like they're already like. I mean, I don't know. But it seems like this, considering how much bigger it is over Switch 1, like the normal Switch 2, how much bigger it is.
Yeah.
I don't know that they would be able to shrink it back down. Like the Lite, when you hold it, is so small.
The Lite is tiny. Like, would the Switch 2 Lite be the size of the Switch 1? Would it be
Right.
a little bigger than the Switch 1? Like,
Imagine
don't
if
know
it was as small as a Switch Lite, like, and they
That
got
would be
like,
actually
dude,
crazy.
Imagine. That's our future hardware section.
Yeah.
Now on to future games.
Yeah, so we said Ocarina of Time remake. That's already coming out.
Already on the docket.
3D Mario. I feel like 3D Mario's not till next year at least.
Yeah, considering, well, it was either going to be this last direct where they did Ocarina, or it's going to be a little bit.
Yeah,
later.
but I mean, the popularity of the Mario movies. I think Mario Galaxy releases sold really well.
Yes.
Like it's obviously going to happen. I would like to see, obviously, new Animal Crossing will be cool.
Yeah, we said we better get another Animal Crossing. New Horizons does not count.
Yeah, because they did do the Switch 2 upgrade pack, which was one of the worst upgrade packs. We didn't really talk about
we
this
didn't
a
talk
lot.
about that,
There are some
yeah.
bad upgrade packs. Mario Party Jamboree Switch 2 edition might be the worst
The
thing
paid
they've ever
upgrade
made.
packs.
Yeah, the paid upgrade
Free
packs.
ones, sure, I'll take it. It's free.
Yeah, but
Dude,
there's
you have
some
to
really
pay?
bad paid upgrade packs. I would love to see a new Animal Crossing in, I don't know, 2 years maybe would be good.
Yeah. What freaks me out is the fact that they just did the
Yeah.
New Horizons 3.0 thing. Which why, y'all? Why?
Yeah, I would rather, I think everyone would just rather them make.
I'm not picking that game up again.
Yeah, so that'd be cool to see. More, like I said, more GameCube games I would love.
I mean, dude, I'm gonna say it. Where's Mario Kart Double Dash? Where is Super Mario Sunshine?
where is Twilight Princess?
Where's
If we're
Twilight
not
Princess?
doing the HD version,
We know.
why are we not going to
Why are we not getting? So like, dude,
There are some big hitters.
I've been waiting for Mario Kart Double Dash to come out in some form more than like 15 years.
You're like that woman in Twilight, not Twilight, Titanic. 84 years. It's been 84 years.
Well, it feels like it's
That's
been
you.
84 years. Why are we? I wrote. Why are we still doing friend codes?
Oh yeah, friend codes.
Wait, how do you add friends on a Switch other than you stand next to them and you hit the four, the things, dude? The code.
Yeah,
the friend codes, those giant things.
Is really rough.
How?
Send me your
Ow.
friend code. If someone asks for your Nintendo Switch friend code, run. But I would say, like, I'm pretty happy with. I mean, I know we just complain about a lot of stuff, but I'm pretty happy with the direction that things are going.
Yes.
A lot of the games we've gotten, I like that. There's a lot of weird games, and I like thinking about like dream games that I want. I mean, we all know that there's going to be a new 3D Mario at some point. We all know there's going to be Smash Brothers at some point. So I would honestly just say, like, I would love just to get whatever weird games they have, like just this trend of like very unique games that you wouldn't expect. I think
Air Riders
is really cool.
Bonanza, even something like Rhythm Heaven, which I know is both a Switch 1 and 2, but like that is a cool
Tamagotchi
game.
Life, like whatever you
what?
like.
That is so cool.
It's cool that we're getting this stuff. Ocarina remake, like
that's a little wacky for them.
it's just like a
They don't
weird
do that
thing
kind
to
of thing.
revisit.
Yeah. When I first got the Switch 2, I didn't feel as good about it as I do now. It's like I felt better and better about it. Actually, to the point where I don't have my Switch 1 anymore. I got rid of my Switch 1. I gave it to somebody, and they broke it.
And then they broke it.
But I feel much better about the Switch 2 than I did when I initially got it. I enjoy playing it more. There's more games I want to play on them.
I would highly recommend people buy it before, if you can, before the September price increase. Just if you are interested in video games and you want a system that is going to get games for at least the next.
If it's anything like the Switch 1, it's going to be 10 years.
Yeah.
1 year in review. I mean, if I had to give the Switch 2 a rank out of 10, 2 out of 10.
I would say.
Wait. We got to say it at the exact same time. We're going to count down. We'll say
Are we doing just whole numbers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, 8. Yeah. Well,
Thanks all for watching our 1 year Nintendo Switch 2 retrospective. We will likely never do this again. Maybe.
Switch 2. Switch 2 year 2.
Switch to a year retrospective.
Wow. Now that will be fun.
Till the next one.